Stanley Fernandez. But before we get into the business of today, I would like to appreciate our sponsors, Ziba Entertainment, for always giving us that opportunity to be on your screen always. So, right about now, I would be introducing the wonderful individuals here with me in the studio today, in person of the beautiful, amazing, and well crafted Balikis. Thank you so much for joining me in
Thanks
the
for
studio
having me.
today. And to the man of the hour, he's not just a civil engineer, he's a construction and structural engineer, and he's also the CEO of Farm Tech Construction Nigeria Limited. And he has also contributed to so many buildings here in Osun State. He's no other than engineer Buhari Uthman Adeshola. Thank you so much, sir, for joining us here in the studio
Yeah,
today.
thank you for having me.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
honoring our
Yeah,
invite.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So today we'll be looking into his journey in engineering. He'll be giving us bits on what engineering entails, and then we'll be looking at the structural buildings here in Nigeria. So, sir, what would you say was the major drive that made you decide that, oh, it is engineering that I want to venture into, and not just engineering, civil engineering and construction engineering, to be
Yeah,
precise?
yeah, thank you so much. We give glory to Almighty God for the gift of life. So, in everything in life, I think there should be someone that you'll be looking up to, like a role model. Right from the beginning of my life, I've been looking forward to so many engineers that, okay, these are the people I would like to become an engineer just like these people.
them.
She get. So, and along the line, seeing people constructing a building has been so much something for me that I do normally like it. Anytime I see where they are constructing a building. So, and at the same time, me personally, I like doing something that is not going to get me bored. And engineering is so broad that it can never get bored. So, I choose to I'm an engineer, not just an ordinary engineer, but a civil engineer, because in engineering, you have an electrical engineer, we have a marine engineer, many of it. But as for me, I choose a civil engineer, and not just ordinary civil engineer as well. I choose to become a structural engineer. So, as for me, what actually inspired me is those people that I do normally look up to, my role models. The person, like people like engineer Adebola, engineer Basiru Bello, many of them. I have many of them. Engineer Lawa, that's my boss. So I have many of them that motivated me.
Okay, so what can you say about the differences between civil engineering builders and surveyors?
Okay, you see, there is difference between civil and all the civil engineer, builders, quantity surveyor, all of them are, let me say, they are the team of construction, and where the architects are the team leaders. But nowadays, people don't even know the difference between the civil engineer and others. But as for me, let me just say, okay, an architect will be the one to to design a very beautiful structure, very beautiful design for the clients, where the clients will now, okay, push it to the engineer that, okay, I want to construct this particular building. So it's quite different from each other. And the quantity surveyors are the one that they normally do the billings for a particular building. If you want to construct any building, you will have to know how much, the exact amount that will cost you for that particular project. And the keywords, the quantity surveyor are the people that normally do that. But as for civil engineers, the people that, not ordinary construction of a building. They didn't base on construction of a building. So in civil engineer, we have an hydrology, we have an highway, and at the same time we have structural engineers. So the highway are the people that normally construct the roads, while the hydrology deal with water and the structure deal with the construction of the building, the design and the detailing of the building before they move to the construction.
I know that a builder is supposed to have a
builder is the part of the
civil
construction.
engineers also entitled to build like something like that, like a permit.
Builder is quite different from the civil engineer, but builder let me say very close to the civil engineer. Like a builder now, you cannot see a builder on the road. They basically based on what? On building.
Buildings.
But as for the civil engineer, you can go for either into hydrology or highway, or possibly design, just ordinary design and detailing, or possibly construction of a building. So that's the difference.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so with the state of the construction industry right now, what are the changes that you think you've seen that have revolutionized in the industry? Maybe the things that had been happening before, but now, due to the revolution, it has upgraded, and there is the growth that you've seen in the construction industry.
Okay, thank you. You see, in Nigeria of nowadays, construction industry is experiencing growth almost every day. Is experiencing growth almost every day. See, construction will definitely give you numerous job opportunity. You see so many people working on site at a time. At times, you can have more than 50 people working together on site. So for that alone, I can say, construction engineering is experiencing growth day by day in Nigeria.
Okay.
Yes.
One of the major problems we face is building collapse.
Okay.
And as we all know, once the architect does the designs, the builders do their parts, surveyors, and then the civil engineering. And then there are instances where just the architect will just take on the role himself or herself, and the builders will take on the role himself. Can we say this attributes to the causes, and how can we prevent them?
Okay, thank you. You see, that can actually contribute to the collapse of the building in Nigeria of nowadays. Of course, seeing unprofessional handling the project for clients, you see, seeing a bricklayer, just ordinary bricklayer, let me say a mason, telling the client that, okay, don't worry, you don't need to engage any professional. I will handle everything all by myself. And along the line, you see them doing all sorts of things on site that is not professional. So, and aside that, you have many factors that can actually cause collapse in building, in constructions, such as corruptions, lack of professional, like I said, lack of professionalism, like I said, bad design, lack of maintenance, natural disasters, many of them. You get. But to me, you see, if you want to construct a building, it's more advisable for you to engage a professional. When you have a professional on your property, on your building, definitely you have handle your project to a very good hand. You definitely have a very standard and good construction. Because you can imagine having a civil engineer, or let me say builder, on site. Definitely he or she knows what to put in places for your building to be standard. But just now, you see, almost nowadays, if you go to the site, visit so many sites today, you see so many people calling themselves an engineer. Just ordinary person will tell you I'm an engineer. You see them calling them engineer on site. And that is what we are experiencing today in building. And this alone can actually cause collapse, cracks, deflection, many of it on site. And to prevent this is for you to engage a professional. Engage a professional. It will even help you to spend less. You spend lesser than what you will spend if you engage unprofessional. And good design as well. If you have a very good design, if you want to design your building, give it to a structural engineer to give you a very good design. And at the same time, good maintenance. We lack maintenance in this country. So these are the part of the problems and factors that we have in Nigeria that is causing collapse of the building day by day in Nigeria.
Yes. So just to get this straight for the builders, the role of the civil engineer, the surveyors, and the builders are similar but also different.
Yes, they are. So
they should not mix it together.
No. It's very, very different. They have different work they are doing.
But very similar in nature.
Unlike the surveyor now, surveyor are the one to do the survey of the land before you even started the design.
Yeah.
Before the architect even started the design, surveyor have to go to the land, carry out the survey, and push it to the architect. It's now left to architect to do what? To produce, give you a very standard design, good design that will suit the interest of the client. And after that, then we now push it to the engineers or the builder to give a very good and standard construction. So that is it.
Okay, so what are the challenges that construction engineers face at site? Is it manpower? Is it government policies? Policies? Is it money or expenses? All the materials that they are using for the building. What are the greatest challenges that you think they are facing right now?
Yeah, let me say it's all of the above. Everything you said. Let me take it one by one. You see the manpower. If you have a shortage of manpower on site, you should have a shortage of skilled labor on site. Definitely, that alone will hinder the progress of the work of the project and its quality.
Is it that
That's
there
the
is
manpower.
more people that you can
I
hire?
said a skilled labor. You know, there are so many people outside there. So many people outside there that they want to work with you.
Yeah.
But not all of them know what you are doing, and not all of them. You know, there is artisan, there is a laborer on site. Laborers are different from the artisan. You have the masons, the carpenters, and the electrician, all of them on site. You get, but the laborers are quite different. If you see people actually clamoring to work with you on site, basically let me say 50% of them are laborers. They have
are
a
not
lesser knowledge of what you're doing. So to engage more people, you have to do what? You have to engage a skilled people that know what you are doing on site.
Okay,
skilled
so
labor.
it is to get those skilled people.
Yes,
that
skilled
is the
people
problem.
is part of the problem.
Okay.
And at the same time, the cost, exchange rate at times, and at the same time, the imported materials, the high cost of the imported materials as well. And the cost of materials generally nowadays is part of what is causing
is increasing.
it's increasing day by day. At
Okay.
times, like iron now, at times the reinforcements will increase, and at the same time it will fall. But in construction, where you are on a particular project, and gradually you are moving on gradually along the line, you probably you want to get some irons, some reinforcement. So getting there, they are now telling you that okay, the reinforcement has increased in price, and there is a bid for this thing already.
You
Definitely
already collected
money for it, so it's definitely affects you that okay, how am I going to do this? In most cases, there are some projects that actually have a variation. What they call variation is when you are on construction, okay, and the materials actually the cost of materials increased. So definitely there will be variation on that particular material. You get? That means they have to revisit the price of the materials initially. You get? But there are some projects that there is no variation. You just have to once you agreed on a particular project, you have to finish it with the exact amount you collect.
So if the price increases, you have to bear the loss.
You have to bear the loss.
Ooh.
There are some projects like that. So that is it.
What about government policies?
Government policy. See, government unfavorable policy of government.
Okay.
Increase in tax can actually affect.
So construction engineers to pay tax.
Of course, you have to.
Whatever
you have to pay to the government, the state government, and even the federal government. You have to pay your tax.
Wow.
That is it. So unfavorable policy of the government at times, like increase in tax and many others, can actually affect construction.
Okay, so moving on to buildings here in Nigeria, how do you view it? And also, how do you view building construction in Nigeria in the next 10 years, looking at the new modern materials that have been introduced into construction?
Well, let me say, in 10 years coming, building construction in Nigeria will continue to grow, definitely, with more population, with more government infrastructures. It will definitely continue to grow. You see, like what we are experiencing presently in Osun State, you could see the state government of Osun State is more on road construction than any other thing in Osun State presently. So that alone, if you go to any other state as well, you see government doing so many government infrastructure. So that alone, and there's no way you want to go about it without construction.
Yeah.
I mean, any government, either federal government or state government, there's no way you want to go about it that you not have more infrastructure in your government. Building of roads, construction of road, construction of buildings, and many others, even bridge. flyovers, so many things. So I mean, let me say in 10, 20 years coming, definitely with population and government infrastructure, construction will continue to
become
experience
better.
growth.
Oh, that's one. So, what are the advice that you think you can give to students that are aspiring engineers and they want to become civil engineer, they want to go into construction like you?
Okay, let me just say that in one point, or let me say in 2 points.
Okay.
As a young engineer, or let me say as a student, you should try and focus more on gaining practical experience. Like embrace more site experience. Seek for more opportunities to work on site earlier at early stage of your
Even
your
before going
career.
to school.
Yeah, you can actually do that. As a civil engineer, you can decide to learn what a mason's work before you could go to school. You can do that. You can actually do that. It will give you more experience on, I mean, when you get there. So focus more, seek more knowledge of working on site at earlier stage of your career. It will definitely help you.
Right.
Thank you.
Just like he said, for every aspiring engineers, builders, or surveyors, seek prior knowledge, like earlier practical knowledge, like going to site and the basis of being an engineer, and you will perform very great. I hope you learned a lot from this session, and if you have any comments, just put it down on our media links below. See you until next time. Bye.